The Prude goes to...
And the Prude goes to...
And the Prude goes to...
Best Vocal Performance. Why was everyone singing so much this election?
The best rally speech.
We're putting together the first ever PRUDE Awards.
Best campaign slogan.
This year is just Grammy Awards times 2 billion. Best social media moment.
Guys, this is how iconic it is.
Best Newcomer award. That's a good one.
The main character award. The winner is...
Wow. Welcome to the GE2025 PRUDE Awards. Hi everyone, welcome back to Political Prude, the podcast. Can you believe it? GE2025 is over. But to wrap things up, we're putting together the first ever PRUDE Awards. Well, so much happened over the course of the GE, so we thought, why not end this season with a little fun? So from the best vocal performance to the most iconic campaign slogan, we're handing out awards for the favourites of this GE 2025. Actually, there's no awards lah, it's just bragging rights. So joining me this episode are some friends in the Prude Posse, Fauzi, Megan and Daisy. Well guys, your votes are in, the ballots are counted. Welcome to the GE 2025 PRUDE Awards. Okay guys, welcome to the first ever PRUDE Award! Okay, so each one of us will basically announce one category that you guys voted for at home, and then we'll do the two final big awards of the night lah, basically. So let's start things off with the first award category. Let's just jump right into it.
Wow, so fast. Okay,
Yes.
I'm
Got
excited.
trophy or not?
Don't have lah, budget what?
Okay, next
I've been
Next
waiting
one,
all day
10:30.
for the results. Ever since you posted 24 hours ago.
yes. Okay, the first category is the best vocal performance, because what the hell guys, like why was everyone singing so much this election?
Yeah, I feel like 2020 was the beginning of the Grammy Awards for the elections. This year is just Grammy Awards times 2 billion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone, every party had someone singing.
Sorry, I never caught
The candidates didn't just speak, they belted. They beatboxed.
Oh.
They turned heads left and right with their vocal chops. Yeah? For the candidates who turned the campaign into their own personal concert stage, the nominees are
Ooh, so excited.
the WP, Andre Lowe beatboxing.
Wow, clap.
Clap, 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 clap.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Actual talent lah.
That one was very impressive.
PPP, Samuel Lee, look left, look right.
Iconic.
I voted for him, I won't lie.
I look left, look right for a career path. Is this a request considered too high?
The WP, Sylvia Lim, Jamaica Farewell.
Oh, okay.
The most well-produced, to be fair.
True.
Yeah.
I must declare that my heart was there, though I had been from Maine to Mexico. But I'm sad to say I'm on my way.
The PAP, Go Pei Ming, Purple Light.
Purple light in the valley, that is where I wanna be.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
a one-time performance, never again.
The scattered claps tells you a lot. That one, maybe not winning.
And last but not least, the PSP, Sunny Ismail, Strangers in the
Oh,
Night.
wow.
Strangers in the night, exchanging glances, wandering in the night.
Can I get the results, please?
Oh my god, it's so official.
And the Prude goes to Samuel Lee, look left, look right.
Icon.
All together now.
I look left, look right. Look left, look right.
For a career path. Is
Is that a request considered too high? Very good, very good. But I really think that this look left, look right has really been the phrase of this election. You know,
It
Like,
has
every-
been.
is it?
It's the most iconic. Like all the brands started like
Yeah.
riding on the trend, and then I saw like brand emails coming in also.
Really?
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
actually
yeah.
seen someone sign off with that.
Really?
In an email.
That's crazy.
I'm like, wow, thanks for like updating your signature every time.
I
love
made
it.
this like hilarious reel about like how the best place to swipe on your dating apps is at the election rally. Because then you find someone who's like politically aligned with you.
I see.
And then for that, I use the look left, look right sound.
Oh.
Because you'll be looking left and right. You'll be swiping left and right.
That is tea.
Yeah.
That's really-
No, it's
that's
truly,
really
it's
clever.
truly a sound that just transcends purpose.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's why he won.
Yeah.
And
Well-
this will carry on for life, I fear.
I feel like he might also be the first and last winner of this category because I don't know if people will start singing next
I
election.
don't know, man.
Who knows, you know?
Honestly, it could be
No,
a
I
whole
think
musical.
they need to. I think they need to.
Continue singing. Enough.
Instead of slogans, they should have songs.
You know
Yeah,
what?
have theme songs.
In 5 years' time, we're gonna write a GE2025 musical
Yeah.
featuring Look Left, Look Right as a full 3-minute song.
Full ensemble number.
Exactly.
Yeah,
we've got harmonies,
we've got
we've got
dancers.
choreography.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Help. Congrats to Mr. Samuel Lee for winning
Yeah.
the best vocal
The
performance.
one thing he won this election season.
He won't lose his deposit for this one, right? Okay, Megan, what's the second category of
Oh,
tonight?
yes. Okay, and for our second category, we have the best rally speech.
Ooh,
Okay,
okay,
this is
okay.
legit.
Yeah.
This is legit.
GE 2025 had a wild mix of rally styles out there, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Some audience interaction, okay? We're in rally style here.
Yes.
From the genuinely moving to the uniquely memorable, these individuals made speeches that got crowds going, sometimes pulled at their heartstrings, and almost always blew up our TikTok feeds with comments and reactions. Their deliveries were nothing if not attention grabbing. So for the candidates whose rally speeches simply could not be overlooked, the nominees are number
go.
1, independent candidate Jeremy Tan.
What was the
Do we
phrase?
know what the
Yeah.
speech
It'll be
was?
Yeah.
full-time pay, part-time job.
Oh.
Yeah, he would be like this. He'd be like,
Love that.
he'd be like, full-time pay,
part-time
job.
Okay, I'm going to say again. Full-time pay.
Okay, WP Pritam sings, NTUC is a safe harbor for losing PAP candidates.
NTUC is a safe harbor for losing PAP candidates.
Guys, this is how iconic it is.
You know the whole thing.
No, this is
Yeah.
how iconic it is because we all remember it.
Plus, also like in hindsight, in the moment
Yeah,
we're in
no,
and the moment
literally,
recording this,
literally.
very relevant.
Yeah. Maybe they should have heeded his advice because look what's happening
Yeah.
now, seriously. Okay, another WP candidate, Michael Thung.
Oh.
Newcomer Michael Thung. We don't want to be told that the sky is white when we see that it is blue.
Oh my god.
That iconic delivery from him,
Yes.
honestly, is rent free in my head.
We don't want to be told that the sky is white when we see it is blue.
And then we have, of course, PPP's Goming Singh.
Oh.
I'm a straightforward guy. Remember, I'm straight. I'm straight. I'm straight.
I'll clap for that.
I'm a straightforward guy. I'm straight. I'm straight. Remember, I'm straight.
Yeah, said 3 times to reinforce the
yes,
point.
yes.
And also, don't forget that he knowingly had a gay candidate.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And then chose.
Okay.
You should get an award for that.
Best reaction.
Yeah.
And the last one goes to newcomer Arfin Shah from SDP.
Mm.
There is no room for racism in Singapore, intentional or otherwise.
I just want to state that there is no room for racism in Singapore, intentional or otherwise. There's no room for racism in the SDP.
Important.
Yeah.
Important
Yeah.
statement.
And the fact it was about his own party member always
Correct.
cracks me up.
Yes.
May I have the result?
Oh my god, so exciting.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, this I'm very excited. I don't know who
Wait, who do you think? Who do you
Oh
want
my
to
Please
go?
go back.
god.
And the Prude goes to WP
Congratulations, Michael.
I will say, I think he was one of the best well-spoken, like,
He was.
Yeah.
representatives this year.
Yeah. I would say he's amongst like the best newcomers this season.
Yeah, he
Fair.
is.
Yeah.
So, I went to 2 different rallies this election. One was the PAP Punggol one and the other one was the WP Tampines one. We were there together.
Yes, correct.
And I thought that Michael Thung's speech was like phenomenal because he really, I don't know if he's a Swiftie or what lah, but the way he spoke, right, was how Taylor Swift would speak at her concerts. And you know how like the way she speaks will get every audience member to have this parasocial relationship with her. It's really the same, because I remember going to Taylor Swift's 1989 concert, and she's like, how many people here are new friends, you know, and then how many of you have been here from whatever, you know, she launched. And he basically did the same thing. He was like, how many of you have been to a WP rally before? How many of you are here for the first time? Welcome, you know. Taylor Swift.
1 year ago at the Eras Tour, he was like taking notes
yeah,
for my future rally speech.
He was like, leave 10 minutes for applause. Take out IEM to listen. The next category is Best Campaign Slogan. I know Joel has some thoughts about these campaign slogans. Which
It's also a very serious category.
It is.
Yeah.
But were they serious is my question. Okay. GE2025 proved that slogans can range from truly uplifting to so odd, but brilliant. We saw catchy rhymes and puzzling taglines, some inspired action, and a few simply made us look twice and admit, okay, that kind of serves.
Yeah.
These lines absolutely became part of the election chatter. For the slogans that were the strongest, strangest, or most surprisingly effective, the nominees are Workers' Party, working for Singapore.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Working for Singapore.
The Singapore Democratic Party.
Why laugh?
This one's one of my favorites. Thrive, not just survive. Period.
Thrive, not just survive.
It feels like a Gen Z wrote that.
No, it really
does.
The first time I heard it, I was like, did I hear that right?
PAP, changed world, fresh team, new results.
Very baby.
It is our roadmap to navigate a changed world. We present a fresh team to tackle the challenges ahead. And we stand ready to serve all Singaporeans with new resolve.
Also the longest.
Yeah.
Okay, Jeremy Tan, independent candidate.
Oh, my favorite.
Be retired, not tired.
In Chinese, it's 退休不是疲倦. In English, that would be retired, not tired.
Can relate.
And Daryl Lowe, also independent. Your voice, our future. I like that one.
So I think for this election, I've chosen Your Voice, Our Future.
Sounds like an NDP theme.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yes,
Your
yes.
voice, our future. One Singapore. All right, let's find out who the winner is. Who did the good people vote for? Okay, and the Prude goes to, for best slogan. Oh, Jeremy Tan. Tired.
Wait, this is so interesting because in the IG poll, WP won it by a landslide.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, too bad they didn't realize.
I'm kind of surprised that that's the choice.
Okay, I'm not surprised because I voted for that.
Oh, really? Okay.
Only because I think it's catchy and like it makes sense.
It has
it
a
really
rhyme.
makes
I
sense.
see,
It's
I
right.
see.
I want to be
Retired.
Not tired.
I get
You know
you,
what I mean?
yeah.
So I have a suggestion for the PAP's new slogan actually. Certainty amidst uncertainty.
Wow!
Not bad, not bad. Actually, not bad,
They should
right?
pay you for that.
Yeah.
If they take it, you heard it here first.
But in 5 years' time, that might not be what we need already.
Yeah. Too bad.
I mean, come on, look at the other elections. It's the same. It's the same like rhetoric. It's like, oh, the world is changing. Like we're in difficult times. Like you gotta go with us. Like we're the sure win. You know.
Yeah. Agreed.
So you know what? That's one for the ages.
Yeah.
Doesn't need to be the next election slogan. Just for life.
Yeah.
Just the PAP slogan
True.
forever.
Yeah.
Actually.
Wait,
Bill
why?
me,
Please, no, you gotta trademark first. You gotta trademark copyright first, patent all these. Make sure you put a C.
Why?
Yeah.
Why is there no chatter about the WP slogan? I loved it
I
personally.
thought it was great.
Yeah.
Every time I heard it at a WP rally, I think I went for 3 WP rallies.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that.
I had to
Oh,
find
clocked
out.
her steps.
Every time they said like working for Singapore, I was like, oh, that it because like it's so simple and it's
Yeah.
like you know exactly what they're trying to do.
I mean, obviously because their party name is Work.
Yeah,
Workers'
wait,
Party.
you know what? I mean, I know that the Workers' Party has been around for a while, but like this election, it really hit me. That name eats, you know.
Oh, I mean,
They're the workers.
Like what?
Exactly.
Like,
Who
it
party?
just-
Work
it-
hard, play hard.
it
Should
makes
be
you
their
feel
actual
like-
name.
that sounds like my party. That's
vote,
where
vote for
I
me.
live.
Work hard, play hard. Sorry,
Maybe
Megan.
it's like it's so intuitive. It's like
It's true.
Workers' Party. It's like, oh, they are workers. They're not like elites. They're not
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
Like, wow, it just hits home. I feel like.
And they're blue because blue collar, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Is that-
it really is.
And they're literally wearing a blue collar.
It really is. That was their
Yeah.
history.
White, yeah.
That was their
White
history.
collar.
All right, shall I go on to our next category?
Yes.
Oh, wow. The next category is for best social media moment. Very relevant to us, yeah? And now, for the award that defines our time. So I should have not just I should have just announced this category because it's just literally going to be my first line. And now, for the award that defines our times, best social media moment. GE2025 wasn't just fought on the ground. The internet was a whole other battlefield. These nominees basically broke the internet, either by jumping on a viral trend or sparking a brand new one that made headlines. Their posts got every group chat and comment section absolutely buzzing. So, for the moments that truly won the internet this election, the nominees are PPP Go Meng Sing. Don't ask me about Pritam Singh again. I'm not gay. I'm straight. I'm straight. I'm straight. And wow, 2 lines for him. And I have knowingly fielded a candidate who is a gay.
Don't ask me about Pritam Singh again. I'm not interested in him. I'm not gay. I'm straight. I'm straight. Remember, I'm straight.
I have knowingly fielded a candidate who is a gay. Okay.
That was yours. That was because of you. It made a social
Exactly.
media impact.
All right. The second nominee is the Workers' Party. #NotWhiteMovement.
The
That
fact
was
that
like
came
fast
out
moving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it came out of the first rally. That was great.
Oh. The third nominee is also from the PPP.
Oh.
William Lee. If police do not have 24-hour service and a thief go into your house and they take all of your belongings and you wait for the police to come in the morning or your house is in fire and you wait for your house to burn down because your fire engine and the fire people come and rescue your house. This is the longest run-on sentence I've ever read. Yeah.
Police do not have 24-hour service and a thief go into your house and they take all your belongings and you wait for the police come in the morning or your house is in fire. You wait for your house to burn down before your fire engine and the fire people come and rescue your house.
Wow. Yet another one from the PPP.
Oh,
good job.
Memeable.
Samuel Lee. Look left, look right. And it was as if the pilots yanked the yokes backward.
我寻寻觅觅一份稳定的职业，这样的要求算不算太高？ It was as if the pilots yanked the yoke backwards, increasing the angle of attack dramatically, hoping for a quick lift, a sudden rise.
Icon.
Truly. Last but not least, final nominee rather, PAP's Gan Kim Yong, riding trends with Look Left, Look Right and Game of Thrones. That was very
It was.
I look up to grow our economy. I look down to keep our household costs low. I look ahead to prepare for the future. And I look back to make sure no one is left behind. Winter is coming. I've journeyed with you through many winters. Financial, health, geopolitical. And I am Gan Kim Yong.
The winner is...
The Prude goes to...
Wow. This is a surprise to me.
It's the long one.
No, Workers' Party. The hashtag
Oh!
#NotWhiteMovement.
I'm really surprised.
That was very
Because
moving.
it is not so funny.
Yeah, not so
It's
funny.
actually very serious,
Yeah.
very quick, very
Yep.
fast. Wow! Shout outs to the Prude listeners.
And if you were there, let us know in the
I was there.
comments. Were
Were your shoes muddy?
white?
Yes. I had to go home and spend like 20 minutes like cleaning it off. Thankfully, I was sand.
You know, one of the so I did go to the PAP Pongal rally, the last one, the final one. And actually a lot of people will say that, and actually it's also quite true that the PAP rallies are very boring and that the crowd turnout is not great.
Mm.
But the one that I went to, right, was actually like very happening. Yeah.
Really?
And I think it's really because I do think the PAP was very scared towards the last day. I felt like there was this maybe online perspective that the WP could win a lot more seats this time, specifically in Pongo GRC as well. So I think the PAP supporters really turned out, and really filled
Show
that,
their support, yeah.
And I think when I was there listening to Mr. Lawrence Wong speak, I don't think I've ever heard him so vulnerable before.
Okay.
He obviously was like speaking with gusto, but like you could hear it in his voice. He was basically saying, guys, I really can't lose more.
He was shaking in his boots.
Yeah. So I think he must have been really relieved when the sample counts came out. Because, But let's play a clip.
We have reached the last day of our campaign. Go with all of you. And with our PAP team for Pongo.
The atmosphere at the PAP rally, I've never seen this before at anything that's associated to the PAP. Usually people are just like, okay, PAP, but like, wow, that day that at the field can compare to WP, I would say. Hi guys, sorry to interrupt the episode. You'll find out who wins the Best Newcomer Award and also the Main Character Award, the biggest award of the night, very, very shortly. But in the meantime, if you're enjoying this episode, give us a thumbs up on YouTube or a 5-star review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Alright, back to the episode. Okay, we've come to the last two awards of the night.
Album of the year.
Well, actually, this is the Best Newcomer Award, which we were talking
Best
about.
New Artist.
Best New Artist.
Best New Artist. Daisy, we got lines.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Lock in.
Daisy, this next one has always been a bit of a crowd favorite. The Best Newcomer Award.
Oh, absolutely, Joel. GE2025 certainly delivered on that front. We saw these fresh contenders hit the scene, and they were clearly not playing around.
No kidding. They came in with those big dreams, some wild ideas, and that don't mess with me confidence that probably had a few veterans sweating.
So true! These rookies really made their mark, and everyone's definitely got their opinions on who this year's James Lim or Nicole Chia proved to be.
Well, Daisy, the wait's almost over. For the fresh faces who made the biggest impact, the nominees are...
Take it away, Joel.
Workers' Party, Michael Thung.
First of all, thank you to everyone for coming down despite the heavy downpour today. Aren't we all glad the skies turned blue for us?
Independent, Jeremy Tan.
I think that if I had not run as an independent, there will be 2 walkover states in places that I care and love deeply. That would be Mountbatten and Marine Parade.
The Singapore Democratic Party, Arifin Shah.
Yes,
Whoa.
icons.
Go ahead.
Even think that it's okay to use the K word. Well, it's not entirely new or surprising, but honestly, it stinks like hell.
The Workers' Party, Eileen Chong.
Oh, surprise!
各位但宾尼集选区的居民和工人党的支持者，大家晚上好。我是工人党但宾尼集选区的候选人蒋佩珊。
And lastly, Workers' Party once again, Alexis Dang.
Wow!
亲爱的榜额选民们，大家好，我是你们的候选人滕佩媛。
And the Prude goes to... Workers' Party, Michael Thung.
The heartthrob of the election for me.
Okay, girl.
Yeah, he's not bad to look at.
Yeah.
Throw
A
up
lot of
picture.
people.
You know what? I think what did it for me was like the round table. When he speaks, even though he only had a minute, he just speaks with such nuance. And it's like, that is exactly
Yeah.
the kind of representation we need in Parliament,
Yeah.
in my opinion. Yeah.
Oh, I absolutely agree. Like when I watched him on the, of course, also compared to the rest, right? He didn't have much competition, to be fair,
Yeah.
right? And in the round table, he really stood out.
Yeah.
The others were either too much reading to their script. The other one was a bit too angry. You know who I'm talking about? Lim Tian. Always angry. And not gonna say anything about what's his name there, Chi Hong Tat. nothing to say about him. So he obviously stood out and he really took it in his stride, even though, of course, the incumbent was attacking WP's policies. He didn't panic.
Yeah.
He was like firm on what he was talking about, and I was very impressed. Very
Iron in his
He
spine.
really does, Like, honestly, I want him to teach me how to speak better.
Well, that was interesting. There was this woman, I don't remember who exactly, but someone was like breaking down all of the speeches and giving suggestions on like when you can what you can do with your eye contact or where you can pause more, or if the crowd is reacting, how the candidate basically did it or didn't do it. And she basically said Michael's were the best out of everybody.
No notes.
Amazing.
No notes.
I mean, a few notes. But not a lot.
Also, the fact that, I mean, it's very telling that he was the one who led the WP and the rally in the national pledge.
That's true.
Yeah.
Right? They could have done Loh Tia Kyang, they could have done Pritam Singh, but they chose Michael Tang. What does that say?
I think they probably wanted to have another Jamus Lim moment because the last election, Jamus came out of nowhere, did phenomenal on the televised debate, and then won a GRC. He led the team to win the GRC.
Okay.
So I think the WP definitely wanted to maybe push. I think Tampines GRC was definitely one of those hotspots or the battlegrounds that everyone was watching. So they wanted to give Michael that, little boost. But hopefully he'll come back in 2030 for the next GE.
For sure.
Speaking of the WP, right? This guy, I didn't expect him to be nominated just because I think the media didn't cover him too much. But Fauzi knows this. Kenneth Tiong from the WP, a new face as well from our unit GRC. Like, actually, his speech at the rally was my personal favorite among all the opposition parties. Even though there was no like rah-rah to him, he was just very like composed and collected. I actually really resonated with his speech. Like, it really just spoke to me in a very like normal way.
What were the themes that stood out?
I think he was just basically talking about the kind of Singapore he wants and then also what he would do in Parliament. He basically just spelled it out like, if you nominate me, I'm going to do this. And whatever he said was like, hey, actually, I can vibe with this.
Yep.
And
he's around our age. We've got
he's like 38.
Yeah, around my age.
Yeah.
Around my age.
So I don't know. The way he spoke was like how like someone in our generation would speak lah. Someone a bit more proper lah, But I really liked his speech and like I think I'm very excited to see what he can bring to Parliament as well. So I want to give him a little shout out there.
Yeah.
Actually, female candidates this season have been getting a lot of scrutiny.
Yeah. And then people will say like, oh, what, we just say she chill what? What?
I vote for
what's the problem?
Yeah.
There are so many of these type of Singaporean men who should just stop it.
I
You're so right.
compliment you on what you don't like.
That's literally the problem.
Yeah, they're literally part of the problem.
And then at the walkabout, and then someone was holding her hand and he was like,
yeah, a bit.
Oh.
A lot weird actually.
Right?
Yeah,
Did you see the presser where Harpreet was like, if we hear anyone doing that, like you'll get it from us, basically. I was like, wow, king. As he should.
Megan, it's time for our last category, and it's a big one. The Main Character Award.
This is the one. Beyond all the policies and rallies, GE 2025 had that one individual you just couldn't escape.
For real. They dominated the news, had all the comment sections fired up, and were probably the star of your family group chat for weeks. They basically were the storyline.
And that's the thing. Love them or loathe them, their impact was huge. GE 2025 simply would not have been as memorable without them, period.
Ooh. So let's settle it. For the individual who was, without a doubt, GE 2025's main character, the nominees are...
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa.
Nervous.
I'm sitting next to her, WP's Alexis.
At the last PAP rally, Ms. Xuan Xueling said, "We do not need strangers to come to Punggol." May I ask, is she referring to DPM Gan Kim Yong too? Or is he exempted because he's good friend of PM Lawrence Wong?
We have WP's Pritam Singh!
Wow.
I'm a Singaporean. This is the only home I know. I don't have investment properties overseas. I entered politics to advance and champion a better Singapore than the one I was born in. One that is more just and fairer for all Singaporeans.
Number 3, PAP's Ng Chee Mei.
Stepping forward in this general election because I want to serve. My public service has always been about people. In my own NTUC story that SM has mentioned somewhat, I fought for workers in difficult times like COVID or in peacetime.
And we have the PPP's Samuel Lee!
我心心密密，心心密密一份稳定的职业，这样的要求算不算太高？
And last but not least, our task force man, PAP's Gan Kim Yong.
I am task force man for Punggol. Residents and friends of Punggol.
And the Prude goes to PAP's Gan Kim Yong.
The PAP wins yet again. Episode over.
No, real though. This election was all about him.
Well, yeah. I mean, it shows in the results that he really was the main character.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he really dominated. I mean, okay, the results for his
Yes.
GRC a bit close,
Yeah,
but he really did dominate the conversation.
For sure.
And
Yeah.
I think it was really the fact that we almost could lose him as a minister.
Yeah.
That everyone started just talking about him.
Yeah.
And I think the PAP's branding of him as task force man was a single masterclass stroke of genius in branding, because I don't think really anyone could pinpoint how to market Gan Kim Yong, you know?
Yeah.
Because he's not really like this orator, right? He's not this like cool guy. He's just really like a steady
An uncle.
uncle.
He really does look like an uncle.
Yeah, an uncle.
But he really does.
He's an
though.
uncle.
Yeah.
But he's like competent uncle.
Correct.
Who's been trained by Lee Kuan Yew,
That's right.
trained by,
Yeah.
Goh
Yeah,
Chok
yeah,
Tong,
yeah,
Lee
yeah.
Hsien Loong, and now working side by side with Lawrence Wong, right?
Yeah.
So competent guy, but how do you brand a competent guy? Task Force Man.
Yeah.
True.
Superhero. It was
Yeah.
so like iconic, and I thought that like they really hit it on the nail with this
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
It really was from the moment nomination day came and he was, as what they will always say, parachuted
Parachuted.
into the GRC. His storyline was basically like built for him.
Mm.
His story arc was, against all odds, he got thrown somewhere else, and then he
Yeah.
had to basically build his way up and eventually, find his way into victory lah.
So here's my question. Do you think this was like a strategy that they had from the start, or they sort of like scrambled to be like, task force man? Because that was the feel that I got. Because this thing like didn't come out right at the very start.
Yeah.
It only came after they
yeah.
were sort of like hearing the sentiment on the ground. They were like, we need to fix this.
I think definitely like it was something that came up, like the hashtag not white.
Yep.
Because if it was from the start, they would have pushed it already,
Yeah.
And I think very much so towards, I think, the middle of the elections or the campaign season, we could feel the PAP side sweating a little bit. And I think for them, they really needed something to push, like the Gan Kim Yong narrative, right? And whoever thought of Task Force Man as the angle to push, I really think that they did a damn good job.
Yeah, give them a raise, man. Seriously.
Yeah.
Because you think on your feet like that as well.
Yeah.
Because I think that was such an important element that like sort of swayed the results.
Yeah. Very interestingly, I felt like everyone online and even in person that I spoke to felt like this election was going to be a drop for the PAP support.
Yeah.
So a lot of people that I spoke to were very surprised by the results that swung towards the PAP. But at the end of the day, I think when I asked people, ultimately what do the results actually show? They basically said, it is really the global issue, and at the end of the day, the domestic one can wait. At this point of time, the PAP is the safest, tried and tested option. So why don't we just like go there? So I'm like, okay, I see that.
I think that is definitely true. But at the same time, I wonder if like the PAP vote share that was so high in certain GRCs is precisely because like there weren't good opposition parties there. Like, is it like, I think that definitely plays a part, but I think we also can't ignore like that factor of like people vote for the PAP because who is their opposition? Like, it's just people who sing look left, look right.
No, piggybacking off of what Megan's saying, like a lot of my friends in my circle, because I can't vote, so I do rely on them to kind of like give me intel or what's it like in your GRC, babes? And a lot of my friends who are more opposition leaning or liberal leaning, whatever you want to call it, would be like, well, I have a really weak opposition in my I have no choice but to vote for like what's gonna help my little town.
Yeah. No, I mean, Singaporeans are very pragmatic people. I think it is.
But also it's local versus national, right?
Yeah.
It's where you yourself, like, do you want to, are you thinking of like we were saying, the parliament and how it's going to help shape Singapore in the future? Or are you worried about what's happening right now where you are?
So this is the conversation that or rather the argument I always have to battle with. And is the conversation I always ask people, are you someone who is interested more in the national issues or someone in more municipal issues? I feel there is a very distinct generation difference or preference towards one across different generations. I think the older people would be more concerned about how I'm going to live, in my town, in my neighborhood, whereas the younger people are more interested in, national issues that maybe you deal with societal issues and societal changes that are happening.
And younger people have a greater appetite for risk
For sure,
as well.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think it will change when the demographic changes. Sorry. Yeah.
But like the swing was so big that I think a lot of young people also voted for the PAP.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Fair.
Yeah.
I mean,
so,
I can't.
this whole like, hey, young people, like once the young people take over, it's just gonna be more opposition. The numbers don't quite reflect that. Yeah.
I get that, but also like there were some statistics about how the WP's share is getting higher as well, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, in overall picture, there is that idea that more and more people are willing to vote opposition. But overall, in the context of the whole country, we can't agree. But obviously, the eastern side of Singapore seems to be a little bit more rebellious. Right?
You can see the map color.
Yeah.
Then
And there's like a little white one right there.
It seems like the eastern side people. I mean, of course, the WP is always contesting in the east.
Yeah.
It's because we're near the airport.
So
we get the Western ideals flown to us.
I was watching the post-election results talk from Academia SG, and then Cherry and George and Bertha Hansen were discussing this, like what this vote share reflects. And then they were saying that actually voters have become more sophisticated, and we can't look at the way voters vote as like, they're voting as a protest vote. Like the relevance of the protest vote has gone down, and people, now that we have worthy opposition members and like parties, then people become more discerning. When I vote for an opposition party, they need to earn my vote in the same way that they have in other GRCs, in the same way that the WP has won my vote. So then now, as we become more mature as a society, as we have more elections, more conversation. I think that could be another explanation why as well. Yeah.
Things are changing.
They are.
They
You
are.
can feel it.
It's exciting to be a part of it and see it and feel it, like you were saying.
Daisy, what are your thoughts on the results? It's like someone who can't vote.
I did think it was going to be a landmark election as well, just because I think, again, I'm consuming from social media. I wasn't going to the rallies. I was sick and clashes and whatever. But
busy.
Okay, booked and busy.
Sorry.
I'm a busy
if you don't want me, then I'm not going to go. I guess we can't vote anyway, whatever. So I think it was yet again a reminder that the silent majority is still strong. It was so insanely like empowering to see people be vocal and be so excited to be a part of like having a say in Singapore's future.
I have so many thoughts about the election, the results, like democracy, whatever. But I think something that's really come up, I feel, in conversations with people is the fact that our institutions and our systems are just not right. Like there's so many problems with like the size of the GRCs or like the gerrymandering. And I see all these questions sort of like coming up. And I hope that in the next election, what's going to happen, and actually not just in the next election, but in the next 5 years leading up to the election, like there is so much noise, so much more noise. And we keep this up that the PAP or whoever, the Electoral Board, has no choice but to answer, to be accountable, and for a real change to happen. Because, if let's say in the next 5 years we have stronger opposition candidates, yes, that will make a difference in Parliament. But is it really going to make a huge difference to the ways we continue to vote in like the next like 1, 2, 3 elections? Like it's not, unless the structural changes happen. So I hope that you guys who are watching, very politically involved, like you guys keep talking, and then not just you guys, but then share this with your friends, like get them involved, talk to them, and make noise, not just during the elections.
I think it's promising that, like PM Wong has, I feel, signaled like this change in attitude towards politics. I I tend to lean towards people, into the good of people. And when he says like, I will listen more, I will be more consultative, I will be, like more like communicative with people on the ground. I think I see it, and I believe him. So hopefully, obviously a lot of voices came up during this election, that he's also willing to listen lah. The one part of it is to look at it from the votes. The people are giving him a very strong mandate, which also shows that a lot of people are very happy with status quo. I think we cannot dismiss them, right? I think the votes show that. But we also cannot deny that there's so many other voices with alternative opinions as well. So for him, his role is to balance that, and I think he will be able to do a good job because one, he has the mandate now. He's in a very strong position to make things his way, and his way has been more promising than past leaders maybe when it comes to being more consultative and more open, right? And I think a lot of people were watching this election looking at how he would perform, because if, let's say, he didn't do well, people would say, actually, this openness is not for Singapore. And then we would have gone back to more conservative or more, like hardline PAP style. Whereas because he did so well, I think now people will be like, you know what? The Lawrence Wong brand of politics could work for Singapore. And I think it spells kind of like a positive.
Yeah, it's hopeful.
Uptick. It spells hope for Singapore. Yeah. All right.
Oh,
So
amazing.
we have to wrap up today's episode. But in the spirit of awards, I think the biggest award goes to our listeners. Yeah. Because we never, who would even think that, a show like this could work in Singapore, right? People are like, politics podcast doesn't make sense, right? But I feel like a lot of young people are listening to this show, engaging with this show. And I think it's very hopeful and exciting that the political could exist in Singapore. I think it's very exciting, and appreciate everyone tuning in lah. Yeah,
This feels like the end of an era like that. What you thought it's going to finish?
No, it's a start of
Thank you. Make
It's
sure,
hopeful. It's hopeful. So
Make
hopeful.
sure, make sure got new episodes.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you in 2030.
What the hell?
For the next PRUDE Awards.
Okay. Yeah.
No, wait. Presidential elections.
That's in 3 years?
Well,
Maybe,
Political Prude is going to stay
We'll
online.
We'll be back. We'll be around.
Don't,
We'll be around.
Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah. But we'll see you for the next awards night.
Damn.
Bye.
Bye.
I'll be 40 by then.
Oh
That's
my god.
crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's the cut.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the Political Prude GE2025 PRUDE Awards. This election season was one for the books, and we are so glad to have you join us on this ride. But hey, this is not goodbye, because we have more episodes coming your way right here on Political Prude, the podcast. Make sure you're following us on Apple and Spotify, and subscribe to us on YouTube. I'll see you soon.